Hey you guys, what's going on everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is Kiapa. Welcome back to my tribe. What's up you guys? So okay, in this video I wanted to discuss with you guys that are considering being a surgical tech, how to become a surgical tech in 2021. So for myself, you guys, I became a surgical tech through the military. So my path might be a little bit different, but we're going to get into how you can do it, without actually having to sign your life over to, the United States military. Now, I decided that I was going to do surgical tech while I was in the Navy when they offered it to me because I knew I was going to get out and I knew that that was something that I could do when I got out of the Navy. And so that's what I did. But if you're sure that you want to be a surgical tech, what you could do now is get your high school diploma, and then you're going to go and you're going to find a program in your area. Now, what I'm going to tell you is to choose the lowest costing program, so a certificate versus a associate's degree, and I'm gonna get into why. And I would choose it at a community college, but it's because it's gonna be the lowest cost, right? Now let's just say you stay in the area and you don't want to wait to get into the program. Let's just say the program might have a waiting list. Then I would almost advise you to actually leave your area and go somewhere where you can get into the program, so you don't have to pay so much for actually getting into like a private school, because a private school versus a community school is a big difference in pay. So now back to what I was saying as far as a certificate versus an associate's degree. The certificate is really just saying that you completed the surgical tech program. An associate's degree is also saying that you completed the surgical tech program, but that you've also completed a certain amount of courses that gives you an associate degree for a college, right?
You only need a certification, a certificate, a diploma. You do not have to have an associate's degree to be a surgical tech.
When you go apply for a surgical tech job, one of the requirements is that you have completed the surgical tech program. It is not a requirement to have an associate's degree as a surgical technologist. You will not get paid more for it. The only time a surgical tech associate's degree is going to come in play is if you're in a supervisory role at a educational facility. Not even in the OR, if you have an associate's degree, will you be in charge of a surgical tech. In the OR, you might be a lead, but that's still not required for you to have a actual degree. The degrees, and if you're going to be in charge of surgical techs in the OR, is going to be a nurse. So if you want to be a nurse, if you want to be in charge of the surgical techs, then you're going to have to go be a nurse to do that. Get a certificate of completion at a community college. So then, at least if you do decide to go back to school to be a surgical tech, or to get an associate's degree to be a nurse, then you can actually use the credits that you got from your surgical tech program. If you go to a community college just to hurry up and get into a program, you're not going to only have to pay more, but if you want to go back and complete some more education, you're going to have to start all over again, because the community colleges typically do not accept private school transfers, okay? And so I just want to be clear with that. So once you've completed the surgical tech program, you're on your way and you can become a surgical technologist, and you can work as a surgical tech without having a certification. Now, unlike if you was to go to nursing school, you cannot work as a nurse without passing the NCLEX. As a surgical tech, you can work as a surgical tech without passing the National Board of Surgical Tech and Surgical Assisting certification. That's the organization that governs the surgical tech certification. Now, there is another company that governs it. The NCCT is a different company, a different organization. But when we're speaking national, most companies, most hospitals, most facilities are looking for you to have your NBSTSA certification, your CST certification. In order to get this certification, you have to have completed the surgical tech program from an accredited college or an accredited education program. Accredited meaning from the CAAHEP, and that's who does the school accreditation, the program accreditation. So if you're looking into these programs, make sure that it has the CAAHEP accreditation for the school, and that you can sit for the NBSTSA the National Board of Surgical Tech and Surgical Assistant certification. That's what you need. That's gonna cover you. There are other ways to do it, like I say, through a different route, but I would be very cautious of it. They have a online program out, and it's up to you if you decide that you want to go through an online program, you guys, but I would advise that you do your due diligence and make sure that these programs are legit. If this is an online program, I would advise that this program be accredited through the CAA HEP for surgical tech programs, and you can go and Google if the schools are accredited or if the program is accredited, and it'll pop up on Google. Just type up CAAHEP surgical tech programs, and it'll show you which ones are accredited, right? Now, you might want to know how much surgical techs make. So coming out of the gate, it looked like surgical techs are starting off, and this does vary by state, you guys. Location matters. Not only does the state matter, but the location of the state. So you could be in one part of Florida and another part of Florida and making different money. But it looks like coming straight out of school for new surgical techs, the national average is about $50,000. And the minimum school requirement is 12 months. So most programs are 12 to 18 months, but they have some that go to 24 months. And that's with the associate's degree, the 24 month. The 12 month is the certification, the diploma, right? So you only need the diploma. So let's just say you got the diploma. Coming out of the gate, you should be making about $50,000, depending on what part of the state, and by location, that does matter. And your pathway, if you're looking at growth as far as a surgical tech goes, you will have to go back to school. You can go back to school to be a registered nurse. Well, first you would have to be a LPN, then you would go to registered nurse school, and then you would sit for the NCLEX and be a registered nurse. Or you could just go and be a surgical first assistant, which will give you close to the same amount of money that it would be for nursing. But the difference is nursing, you will have more patient care involvement versus a surgical first assistant. Our patient care is pretty much limited to the OR. Surgical tech is an entry-level position, meaning that once you will come in and you'll get to a certain level, and then you will be capped. Surgical techs go from nurses, go to nursing school, go to first assistant school, or end up becoming a physician assistant. Just to give you a recap, the schools are about 12 to 24 months long. You only need a surgical tech certification to work as a surgical tech. You can work without actually having your certification, but you need the certification to be more marketable. So if you're looking for jobs and you don't want to just work at one specific facility, then I would definitely get my surgical tech certification, my CST, through NBSTSA. If you're looking at programs, make sure that these programs are accredited through the CAAHEP, and you can Google that and it'll let you know if the program that you're looking for is accredited through them. Average for the schools are about $20,000. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys in this video. I hope it was useful to you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that great YouTube stuff. Bye guys.